Oh, all right, all right, all right. What up, what up, what up to all my kings, queens, and you motherfuckers in between? Welcome back to another
Okay.
segment of Tipsy Talk. Tonight, we're going to be talking about why do people stay in toxic ships, whether that's with family, friends, work, and love interest. And tonight on this lovely panel, we have my lovely best friend, who is my co host, Mari. We have the lovely Blondie. You might want to say hey
Hey,
because I don't know if it's gonna show you or not on this. Then we have Tone.
hey, how y'all doing?
All right, and we have James,
What's happening, black people?
aka Mr. Remy, Remy
Yeah,
Lux.
that's me.
I guess we're gonna call you Remy. And then we also have Zamario here, but he stepped away, and we don't know when he's coming back. But he'll just gonna have to figure it out when we get all up in here. So now I don't know. I feel like the question, why do people stay in toxic ships, is a loaded question. Now, for me, only speaking from my experience, because my environment and upbringing was toxic, it led me to more toxic shit. More toxic shit.
I think I don't know what a real relationship was, like, I guess until now. So I just kept going in toxic relationships because that was what was familiar.
Facts. It's like you don't know until something good comes along, and then you're like, "Is this real?"
Is this is different? I don't know about this one.
Like, I'm gonna have to lay hands on you. You ain't laying hands on me. Oh, this is a thing. Oh, this is a thing.
What?
Oh, goodness gracious. Life, boy, life. But we'll dive more in depth on that. So, Blondie, what's your overall take on it?
Um, toxic, toxic people attract toxic situations. For me, that was something that I didn't know what a healthy situation should be. However, sometimes when you don't heal those broken pieces of you or broken parts of you, you tend to attract toxic situations. Until that process is started and completed, you'll find yourself in those situations, whether it be a toxic relationship, friendship, work environment. Until you heal those parts of you that will no longer accept certain things, then of course you'll always attract those things.
You also got to be self-aware. You have to realize that you are not a perfect person as well. That's a lot of things I had to learn, like growing up and getting older.
Now, when it comes to toxic work environments, because boy, this job I'm currently with, that thing toxic. But I got content with it because of the pay. And my only issue, well, the reason why I have not looked elsewhere for work is because I hate the whole application process. I hate having to upload my resume. Then, after uploading my resume, it's like, what's your work history? What was the point of me uploading my resume? Then it's the whole, you got to do an assessment. Why are we asking? Why are you asking me all these what if fucking questions? Like, majority of us is lying on the things anyway. Then you got to go through a phone interview. So, for me, it's the whole process of looking for a goddamn job. But I will say though, because I've been saying for like I've been with my job for 5 years, and about three and a half of them years I've been saying how I want to leave, and I finally applied for other places. Okay.
Well, that's progress. That's progress. And that's where you find you can apply that in relationships as well. Your fear is you're comfortable and you also don't like the process of starting over.
Mm,
I don't think a lot
mm.
of people like starting over because change scares people.
Correct. I'm one of those people. Yeah.
But it's crazy because the one thing consistent in life is change.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm used to this thing. This thing, even though I know deep down inside it's not good for me, I'm comfortable with it because this is all I know. I'm scared of the what ifs and the what nots. What if I get into another situation that's worse?
I think it's also about control because that's something you have control over is what job you're going to, what relationship, you know what I'm saying? Now, the unknown is scary, but at the same time, like that's what brings growth.
You know, my input on the whole, I guess it's two parts. It's the job part and it's the why do we stay in toxic situationships? Um, I think that if you're not good up here for yourself, like I have conversations all the time, you're not gonna be good. You will put up with anything and anybody if you're not right up here um, and strong enough for yourself mentally. It starts there. So that's, in my opinion, that's why folks stay in those types of situations that's that toxic. Um, is because they haven't made their mind up who they are, what they want to do.
Yeah, I
I
It
agree.
can
starts
definitely agree.
for me. It starts there. Now, as far as the job, and I guess you could apply that to any aspect of life. It could be a job, it could be family, it could be, you know,
Yeah, so
got to be
with
good here
now
first.
now with the job as aspect, well, pertaining to my job anyway, my pay always fluctuates when I go from one project to another. The days I work are inconsistent. The hours are inconsistent, but the main thing is that there's poor communication. Well, there's barely any communication. And one year they fucked around with my health benefits. And see, that's what we're
Uh,
not gonna do because I need my health benefits. So apparently, one year they just decided that vision was an elective benefit, so you had to choose to enroll into it. But mind you, every year it's been rolling over. It's been rolling over, and I didn't know I didn't have vision benefits until the eye doctor office called me. They was like, "Ms. Moore, you don't have coverage." I'm like, "What the fuck you mean I don't have coverage?" Click. Where's my vision benefits? Oh, it wasn't elective. You had to enroll into it. And I'm like, I ain't getting no letter in the mail. I ain't getting no email. My motherfucking supervisor ain't telling me shit. Like, why y'all playing games like this? Like, why y'all playing games like this? So
right,
that's
right.
that's one situation. That's one situation. Another situation is that they fucked around with my license to sell health insurance. And it was to a point where I was unemployed, I think, for 2 fucking months. So I had to goddamn do Amazon Flex
Right.
outside every damn day, 7 days a week from the crack of dawn. And when I say the crack of dawn, like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, slinging packages because these motherfuckers want to
Uh,
play. Because these motherfuckers want to play.
Mm.
But yet I stayed because I got comfortable with that money. Got
He's
comfortable with
all
the
right.
money. Ciao. Mm.
Tony, what you think? How you feel about it?
Who, me?
Oh,
Damn, where did
Tony,
he go again?
I don't know.
There he is.
Oh,
What is
Oh, he's on mute.
that's off mute? What is
So
happening, Demario? What you doing?
Look. I got a lot of moving parts right now. Okay.
understand.
Yeah.
Moving around.
Look, where you go? I was like, I
Leave me
seen
be.
you and then disappeared. Bring your
Yeah.
ass here.
But
So that's Mario, y'all.
um, yeah. Hey, how y'all doing?
Good,
But
good.
good. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with everybody. What everybody else is saying. Like, it's a level of comfortability. It becomes a level of um, we gain a certain consistency from like our jobs or our relationships or whatever it is that is toxic. That makes us say, you know what, I'm comfortable here. So, you know, people don't want to embrace the change. That's the hardest thing in the world to do, even though change is the only consistent thing that's going to happen in life. So that's just my spiel on it.
So, okay, so let's take this to family. So, why is it like,
Need a drink for that.
why why is it normal
She
to continue
said, "I need a
a
drink."
relationship with a family member that's constantly being toxic?
Because that's what we were taught,
Oh
blood is
no.
thicker than water. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like instilled in us that we gotta make it work, you know what I'm saying? Because they are our blood. Which, I mean, to be honest, you don't need to make it work with anybody, but it's just easier to try to make it work with somebody that you know is blood and potentially can have your back.
I don't
Mm.
Hmm.
feel like I think that I learned at an early age, and I don't know if it's a gift and a curse or what it is, but I learned at a very early age that is whenever I go, it's gonna be me in that casket by myself. So appeasing other people's opinions and even family, if you're toxic and I choose to stay away from you, family or not, I mean, I made up my mind a long time ago. I'm not gonna deal with none of it.
I
So
have a
whether I find that out early or late, when I do find out, it's just that's because it takes too much of your good energy. You can't be a good person out here in a world full of evil people and just, you know, or toxic
Hmm.
people. No, I don't want to say evil, but you can't be a good because it will eat you alive. You, I had to learn how to cut all of that off. I had to, and that's kind of like I said. I don't want to say it makes it easy, but it's not limited to family or friends or it's and dare I say friends because you can't call them friends if that's eventually what happens. But it's just a mind frame, in my opinion. It's just
The light is downstairs.
you know
Do you think you should cut people off, or do you think you can just be cordial with those people and still have those boundaries?
no. If it ever came to a point where I felt like you was moving funny or you were toxic and I had to cut you off even for a day, even for if I get to that point and something has gone some way it shouldn't have because we are all reasonable people. Everybody has their flaws. I get that. I'm not saying, a
It's on
friend
the bed.
you just cut off, just no. But if you know for a fact that that's something that they've been or you've been dealing with toxicity, like we're not talking about one-off situations. Nothing happens in a vacuum like that. We're talking about patterns and habits and things that people just do because that's who they are.
Hmm.
They
So,
can't change that. They can't help it. But that's the onus. In my, like I said, in my opinion, the onus is on me to realize, hey, listen, this ain't working. This is, you're too toxic. You know,
Right.
family member or whoever.
now this guy told me about this book called, I think he said something. Disclaimer, I was drunk as fuck at the bar, okay? So, but the title was something about zebras not getting stomach ulcers or some shit. Zebras and stomach ulcers, okay? That's just what it is.
This
So
is wild.
he was
I mean,
saying
who the
in
hell
this
told you that?
book, he was saying in this book that zebras don't get stomach ulcers because when they are faced with a conflict or a situation, they're either gonna die or they're either gonna run. And I guess the correlation is since we are humans and we have free will, we rather stay and indulge in it.
No,
Hmm.
run, buddy.
Well, I was gonna say just
But
learning that lesson to say, either staying and dying or running, that's a level of growth. Like the brother was saying a few minutes ago, like, learning how to get out of family situations. Again, that shows a level of growth. Once you say, I'm sick of feeling the way that my family makes me feel, and I'm gonna step away, regardless if it's for a second, a minute, an hour, whatever. Like once you do that, like you've grown past the toxicity there. And the hardest part for us as humans is to grow past all our toxicity. You know what I mean? Every relationship that we have that makes us say, you know what, this sucks. You know what I mean?
It just
So
drains you. Like it's too much on your energy. It's just
yeah,
it's just
and that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like one, like you said, it's draining. And but it's like when we get a little bit of relief from one area of it, we become content with every other area of it.
oh man, listen.
You know what I mean? Like if I leave my job, if my job is the toxic thing right now, I can leave my job but stay in my toxic marriage. Or you know, I could leave a toxic marriage but still have a bunch of friends that's willing to let me get set up and shot or killed or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, we got to grow past all of that.
That takes time. Like you gotta do one step at a time with that. I mean, I guess you could leave everything at once, but that's a lot of stress too.
Talk about ground
I mean,
zero.
for
Okay.
things that hey, listen, I was just gonna say for things that happen like that, you have to hit a point in your life to where you know what, enough is enough with everything and
Hmm.
everybody. And that's how it happens sometimes. If you drop a glass bottle, drop two different glass bottles, one may shatter into 1,000 pieces, and one is gonna break into a whole bunch of different shards.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it's just it's who you are. It's uh, you know, which one you
Yeah.
gonna be? Somebody that's just gonna and it sucks because you have to turn off friendships or so-called friendships, relationships, family members. With, I mean, I could tell y'all stories about my own family members that can stole from me, and I still try to say, "Hey, listen, nah, it's all good. I got you. What you need." But
Hmm.
they'll play on that every time. Relationships, they'll play on that every time.
That's what I'm saying. People ain't shit, boy.
Do you think it's a time when you should move on? Like, is it
Absolutely,
three
yeah.
strikes
When
and
you
you're out?
Nah,
Or
nah, nah. You're not gonna give me as a person. I'm not gonna give nobody no three strike. If you knew the first time, what they say, first time a lollipop, two times a suck. If you knew you did wrong once and you tried to, excuse my language, fuck me over or whatever the case may be. If I, as a person, allow you to do that a second time, then whatever happens after that is on me. However you treat me after that is on me because I'm allowing it to happen. Now I can nip it in the bud and check whatever situation it was, and we can get on the same page so it don't happen again. But after that, everybody deserves a second chance. But that don't mean as a man or a human that we just gotta be like, okay, well, they just screwed up this time, and maybe they was having a stressed week at work, or then it turns into, well, maybe they having a problem with a family member. Then it turns into and you really just at that point you too far gone.
Hmm. It becomes a cycle of enabling their behaviors. You know what I
Habit,
mean? You just
exactly.
sit,
Like I said, it turns into a
yeah,
pattern.
yeah.
Because
You
I
sit
was
there.
just going to say, when it comes to friendships, it's like, why do we feel as though we let those toxic things continue with friendships?
Because we see the good in them, because like they've been rocking with us for the longest, and we know that person deep down that maybe that's not who they was exhibiting whenever whatever situation went down.
Hmm.
So it's a difference in people that you actually know that this is not who you are, and maybe you acting out, and then there's those people that's well maybe they just going through some things and it don't really be that.
also, it's
It's
hard
just who they are.
making friends. You know what I'm saying? These days and ages, like once you get a friend, it's like, okay, I already told you all this stuff. Am I going to have to start over? Just like a relationship. Like, it's hard to get in a relationship and build that bond with somebody and then realize that they're toxic and realize that the whole narrative of the situation is skewed. So
Yeah.
Let me
Hmm.
tell you, my last time making new friends was when I was working at the time it was known as Carolina's healthcare system before they went to Atrium.
Yep.
And that was between 2016 and 2018. I befriended the girls there, two of them that I was working with. It got to the point where, we was going to each other's houses and going out to the clubs and shit. And this one night in particular, this is the only thing I don't like about iPhones, because I don't know at the time how my fucking message was even on my boyfriend and how there was even a voice recording going on with the conversation between me and these two girls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So nonetheless, my guy was like, well, what was up? What was y'all doing? And I stand 10 toes down, like, I'm about to tell you what the fuck we was all doing. And apparently, these bitches was lying to they niggas, talking about no, we wasn't doing anything. That was just Jasmine. And it's like, y'all hoes acting like y'all was married to these niggas. Y'all just shacked the fuck up. So what's the real fucking issue? Like, and then I'm like, at that point, I was just like, fuck people, because the situation wasn't even that serious for you to sit there and lie and put all the blame on me. Like, we honestly didn't do anything. I mean, we was dancing with niggas. And I made a comment about one of their dicks. And that just happened to be the voice clip message that was being recorded. Jesus. Oh my God. But that accountability, boy. Accountability. Accountability. At least I own my shit. That's one thing about me, is that I'm gonna always own my shit, and I will never change my stripes or my colors. Dead ass. Dead ass.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Is somebody okay? What's happening? Who?
I don't know.
Is somebody coughing? Is somebody laughing and coughing? What is happening? I am concerned. Get some milk.
This milk.
Breast milk, where?
Who said breast milk? See?
I know I'm not tipsy enough yet. What in the world is happening?
Do y'all think a toxic relationship can get better?
Yes, it can.
And when will you?
Only in death.
I hate him.
He said only in death.
Facts.
Like in death?
Facts.
In death?
In death or in debt? DEBT. Which one? What we talking about?
Pick your poison.
I am weak.
Okay.
Wow.
Get some clarification.
I tried to clean it up. I'm sorry.
Need some clarification up in here, because what?
Clarification. No. First of all, it's just my thought, because I can't say that I have been in a toxic relationship, but to hear people talk about toxic relationships, the only thing I can see is death. You either kill that right there off, or they're going to kill your ass off. And most of the time, you see a bunch of people walking the streets, they looking like zombies. Everybody says, oh, it must be a crackhead. They got to be on some type of drugs. Love is one of the doggone drugs that nobody can find a cure for. And especially when you get it in with a toxic individual, that right there is just devastating. So I can't see myself putting myself in a situation like that. So far I have been quiet because I don't understand it.
So no type of toxic ship, whether it was with a family member, a friend, a love.
Well, I don't really consider that a family. That right there is just drama. That's not toxic. That's just drama. And that can be fixed with separation and time.
I don't know. I feel like it can be like pushed down. You know what I'm saying? Swept under the rug.
Well, that's not really. That's what you call it. That's what you call it when you want to, you want to keep people out of your business.
Because if you don't communicate, how is it going to be fixed? Like, time doesn't heal the wounds that you gave me. Like, I'm still gonna be thinking about it, even if it's 10 years from now. If we get together, I'm gonna be like, well, fuck that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, see, you remember what Remy said at the beginning of it? You got to work on
Ain't no
yourself.
energy. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't.
You got to work on yourself before you can expect somebody else to work on it. So if you work on yourself over a period of time, and when the time when the Lord or whatever spiritual being see it necessary for y'all to have a conversation again, if that person is still on the same wave pattern that y'all left off, and you don't progress beyond that,
Right.
then that right there is
Oh,
just something that you stay yourself away from.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that doesn't heal it. That doesn't fix
It's
anything.
not it's
no,
not our
it's supposed to
job. It's
heal
not our
you.
job to
Right? Yeah.
heal and
You
fix
supposed
stuff.
to heal
It's
yourself.
our, we got to do that for ourselves and continue to
Yeah.
live. We can't worry about what somebody else ain't doing for themselves. All we can do is be there for them if it's a family member. Just be there
Mm-hmm.
for them when they need us. But other than
Mhm.
that, stay out of their way and make sure they stay out of yours.
Right. What what's the old
Mhm.
adage? Love them where they at. You know what I mean? If they
That's
gonna
what it
stay in
is.
a certain type of way, you have to grow and mature in your own way and just say, you know what? That's them. You know what I
Right.
mean? That's them.
Show them better than you can tell them.
Exactly. Like, but I have a question. Because you said this several times. What does it mean to heal? You get what I'm saying? Like when y'all
Right.
say, oh,
That's the
go ahead.
simple question to answer. Honestly, and
Yeah.
I hope I cut about out, but I'm gonna tell you what it means to heal. What it means to heal is to grow. The things that pissed you off yesterday ain't gonna piss you off tomorrow. If you doing and you own what you say you doing, that's healing. Healing don't start from a physical,
Damn,
yeah,
thank
beat
you.
on. It doesn't start there. That shit
Mm-hmm.
starts with you when you make up in your mind that enough is enough. Yo, it could be somebody that's cigarettes or whatever the case may be. Once you make up in your mind enough is enough and you've been fed up, that's when you start your healing process. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
heal. It's a realization. That's what healing
Eh,
is. It's
Yeah,
a
Right.
but
realization.
see, mental. It's a mental thing. You got to do that for yourself mentally. Nobody else can do that for you, and it's called growth.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think
Exactly.
it starts with like forgiveness, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
There's
Not
all of
letting.
that's forgiveness, but first you got to forgive yourself for even going that route. And then once you
Mm-hmm.
forgive yourself, it comes everything else will fall in line with it. But a lot of people say, "I forgive you, but I ain't gonna never forget." You doing something injustice to yourself because now it's on your mental. Whenever you see that person, it's gonna come up in your mind. So you got to forgive
Mm-hmm.
yourself for you taking yourself down that journey.
Yeah.
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 I don't necessarily agree with that part. And I'll tell you why. I'm gonna
And I
forgive
forgot she
you.
was even here. She ain't said nothing the whole time.
Yeah, I'm gonna forgive you because I listen. I want to be able to be present and listen, but I want to be able to forgive you, but I don't want to forget, so I don't make the same mistake.
Mhm.
Not with you or with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that.
Because
Well,
a part of
I
that healing
forget.
journey
So my
is
memory
that
gets
you
so I
learn
forget.
from that those choices that you made, so you don't keep making those same toxic choices.
Okay, so are you talking about in a relationship, or are we still talking about family?
I'm talking
We talk
about
about
it
both
all
this.
because I got an
Overall,
in
example
yeah,
for
general.
every
overall,
single one
yeah,
of them.
overall. There's no
Overall,
there's no difference. Family, co-work, it doesn't not. There's no distinction. Yes, the
family,
relationships may be
yeah,
different.
the
The overall
family
relationships may
part,
be different, but
it goes with that for me.
you got
Because
to
for
cut
me,
somebody off.
if family does something to me and it's consistent, I'm seeing a pattern, I'm gonna cut you off. I'll cut off many family members for that. But I gave warnings before I did it. So you
Mm-hmm.
understood where I was when I said, this bothered me that you did this and you continue to do it. So what's going to happen next is if you do it again, I'm out because I have to make sure I create healthy boundaries for me. And this is not healthy. So if it happens again, I will have to step away. I don't care who it is.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
It's the
That's cool.
Yeah,
balance.
I feel the same. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. But
exactly. How much?
um, you sound like you got more patience than I do. Because right now I'm being calm right now, but raising my voice and doing the gestures that I do, I think somebody rather for me to whoop their ass and get it over with than to be for me to be mad at them. Because every
But
time
you
I'm gonna
know,
see your ass, I'm gonna try to
yeah,
do
but
something vindictive because I'm petty sometimes. But that's I can't help that because that's my imperfection. I can be righteous but petty at the same time. I can read the Bible to you, explain what it means, then my dumb behind can turn around and do this exact what I told you not to do because mentally my
mhm.
mind just flipped just like that right there. But I can't say I put that on people. I put that on myself.
And
I put
that's
that on
completely
myself.
Mm-hmm.
fine because everybody has their own individual journey that
Yeah,
they have to
right.
go through to make sure that they're okay. For me, I'm not there anymore where I'm gonna want to do something to you. My doing something to you is cutting you completely off. Just know I loved you enough to give you grace. And when you completely outrun that, you took advantage of that, I removed myself. Because today I love me enough to say I choose me and not you. And
Mm-hmm.
this really is not about you. It's about me and what I got to do for me to maintain myself. Because you see, just like how you said, where every time you see that person, it's going to come up with bad feelings. I'm trying to stay out of prison because I love my freedom. So, in order for me to do that, I have to take myself away from you and what you got going on. Because I ain't going to let you
Okay.
trick me out these streets.
You said something
I'm a,
about
I'm a,
prison. See, that part right there wasn't even in my
hey,
mind.
look,
See,
check,
when you be petty, you don't see you got to do stuff like there wasn't cell phones around. You got to look over your shoulder before you do the dirt, and then you ask for forgiveness when you finish.
And I
is
feel
it,
you on that, but I want you to see me coming. When I do me, I want you to know it's me. So I know I'm
this is
gonna go.
Yeah.
this is what
So
I
I
was
gotta
meaning
protect
by
me.
this is. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not like
No, go right
interrupting.
ahead, Remy.
This is what I mean by when I say healing properly and growing properly because regardless of what you may have done, as toxic as a person you may have been, no matter what
Look,
you have done to me in the past, it's the past. That should not make me have no type of reaction if I see you in public or private. The only thing that would make me do as an adult is say, hey, listen, hope all is well and keep it moving. I don't give a damn what you've done to me. I'm not gonna want to put my hands on you. You could have done me the worst way possible. I'm just gonna wish you well, even if I see you or don't see you. But that's part of the
Mm-hmm.
healing I'm talking about. We can't just say we're gonna heal, and then every time we see a bitch, gonna smack her. We can't do that. That, that ain't healing.
They be
You know
so
what I'm saying?
hard though.
Right. That ain't healing. You really got to heal like to your core to where that shit don't bother you. And that's the growth
Mm-hmm.
part of healing. To where
Yeah.
when they still bothers you, when you see their face and it irks their nerves, then they still got that power over you. They still got the power to invoke that reaction, even if you don't show it out right. You know mentally, I can't stand this bitch. Like I'm gonna beat this. You know it's there.
Yeah.
So
You know.
how do you heal? What is your
Well,
process?
hold on. Let
Okay.
me say this real
So
quick. Let me comment on that. Sometimes taking away the energy from somebody is the most hurtful thing you could do to somebody. You know what I mean? Like if you know I'm pissed off at you, that's gonna make you irk try to irk me even more to put my hands on you or something like that. But if I'm sitting there like, you know what, I'm kicking it, whatever it is, you can be around me, you don't have to be around me. I'm still gonna be me regardless. Then 9 times out of 10, that's gonna piss the other person off. And
that's how you heal.
I
You be
win.
you.
I win on that
That's
one.
how you
You know
heal.
what I mean?
That's that's exactly how you heal. You
Yeah,
still continue to be you. That's how.
exactly.
You know, somebody asks, how do you heal? That's how you
Yeah.
continue to do and be the good person you are and don't let none of that affect you.
and it
Who
Hmm.
said
still
I'm a
takes
good
and it
person?
still takes the time. It takes the time. It just don't work overnight either. It takes time.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to be pissed off at a whole bunch of people, a
Don't
whole
give a
bunch of
fuck.
times.
What's up?
You're gonna have to
Bust
be
your
pissed
Like
head
I
off.
whoop
said,
your
like I
ass,
said,
whoop your ass.
if it ain't
That's
family,
how
I
I
can
heal.
outside of
That's
family,
how I
I can
heal.
walk away from anybody else. But family is still going to be the ones that be coming to them cookouts, coming to them gatherings, funerals and stuff like that. Family is just they forever. So you can pick your friends, you can pick the
Hmm.
coworkers, but your family is that's family. So I don't want to cut my family off, but I can also, separate myself away from whatever, I done
So
got strong
let
enough
me
to
ask
know
you
that
this.
now. But back then
So
I
let me
didn't
ask
know
you
that.
this.
Like I said, I'm still in
Let
that
me ask
time.
you this. So if your finger, right, is the doctor tells you, listen, this finger, we're trying to save it, but we can't. It's the full of gangrene. And they say they gotta cut it off. You gonna still keep it on your hand?
Fuck no, cut that shit off, all the way off,
That's
Well,
not the
all the
same
way
thing.
off.
That's not the same thing. That's not the same thing.
Hey, listen, when
That's
I'm
not the same
saying,
well,
thing.
but this is
well,
what I'm.
Mr. Tony,
This is
I
I'm
what
feel
she's
like it
trying to say.
is.
I
I
think.
feel like it is.
I think this is what she's basically saying, and that basically echoes what I was saying. It does not matter who it is. It does not matter if
Mhm.
it's family or not. If that person means listen, the only thing that we all have in common with our family is that we are related by blood. That blood will
Correct.
still be there. That blood will still be there whether I speak to you or not. Whether I choose to
Mhm.
or not. No, you cannot differentiate between because that's basically you saying, okay, well, I'll put up with this from one person just because it's my aunt, and but I won't put up with this from my girlfriend's mother. Or you know what I'm saying? You cannot put up with. I know this kind of like a crazy connection to make, but you cannot put up with any. And I used to always say this, and people get mad at me all the time. I wouldn't take shit off nobody, even if it was Jesus Christ Himself, and I mean that to my heart. No, I'm not
Yeah.
callous or cool, but what I'm saying is, just like I said earlier, what I said, when we all die, ain't nobody in that casket but me.
That's true.
For
So
That's that
putting
me,
up,
advanced level of growth right there. That's
putting
that
up with
other
other
for
level right
me,
there.
yeah,
putting up
for
with other
me, a
people's stuff
violation
is
is
just not acceptable.
violation.
It's just not acceptable at all in zero
And I
form.
deal exactly, I deal
Zero
with it
form.
accordingly. Because if your family, right? For me, family is everything. So for me, if your family, your blood related to me, you're supposed to see me at a
No,
different level than
exactly.
your friends, than your coworkers, than your everybody else, because we are blood related. However,
Hmm.
if you continue to violate me, I'm gonna treat you just like anybody else because you no longer see me as a valuable person enough not to continue to hurt me.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's
The
just you can't
concept
No.
is
differentiate.
simple. If you don't understand my boundaries, you will no longer be a part of my life. Period.
Hmm.
That's
That's how it's
respect.
supposed to
That's
be.
how I look at it.
That's
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
I add
And
to that too. I'll just say this: like once you get to a point where you learn that you can cut off family, you get away from that family toxicity. Like it makes it so much easier to get away from the little bullshit that we deal with from coworkers, friends, relationships, whatever. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that a family is supposed to be deeper, but once you realize that it ain't that deep, like besides the blood relation or the fact that
Mhm.
y'all grew up together or whatever,
that's
once you
that's
get
as deep
past
as it
that
goes.
bullshit,
That's as
yeah.
deep as it
But
goes.
once
Is blood.
yeah, once you get past
And
that,
like I
like
said, it'll still
it
be
makes
there.
it 10 times easier to look at somebody you've been dating for 2 months that's showing every red flag and say, you know what, I ain't got to deal with that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But make no mistake about it. In most I say most relationships. I can't speak on most relationships, but in relationships, you don't really see most people's toxic side until you in it. And I guess as of some form of societal cruelty to us all, um, You waiting for a year and a half, 2 years before you first start to see who people really are, right? So that makes it
Mm-hmm.
doubly harder once because at that point you can't say that you don't love the person. You can't say that you don't because you've been together at least that long. So it makes it in relationships as far as them being toxic. That's what makes it harder. The longer it goes on, and it sucks that it'll be year 3, 4, you really start to get to know this person. Damn, we done wasted 3 years of each other's lives.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
get
it's
that,
a
but
I have to
waste
say, don't think of it as a waste.
because you have
I mean,
memories
it's
of
a
that
lesson.
person.
Okay, a
It
lesson.
just
I understand.
was
I
their
understand.
time,
Waste. It's a lesson.
the moment.
It's a lesson. It's a
Mhm.
lesson. I'm not going. Everything is a lesson. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't say it.
yeah.
That
Well,
you
I was gonna
wake
say
up.
this, like, I was gonna say this, like, the first, like, if that's your first toxic relationship, yeah, like, that's hard. But if you keep attracting toxic people, or if you keep being confronted with toxic people, that timeline should get shorter and shorter every time. Because as you learn through that time frame, there's certain things you need to be asking up front.
It's
You know
not
what I mean?
right. Right.
Like, if it took me
Start
3 years
with
to realize this chick wasn't nothing, then the next time it should only take me 3 months.
Mm.
You
well,
Facts.
know?
sometimes they start looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
if you in every relationship that you done been in been
you the
toxic, then you
common
might be the toxic
I
factors.
start
one.
looking at your stuff. Right. You
Common
got your
Common
right.
denominator.
factors.
That's so right. Sure enough, right.
It was
Yeah.
That's
Don't let
that's
me.
where
me.
you gotta look in the mirror. You
Hey,
gotta do some self-reflection.
but look,
Right.
but don't that go back? Don't that go back to what I was saying earlier? You you got to be good here
Growth,
Hmm.
yourself.
mental, got to be there.
You ain't gonna
You
be
got to
shit
be
on
there
the
mentally.
outside.
You ain't
And
gonna
it's
be
a way.
worth nothing to nobody. If you ain't good to yourself, you ain't gonna be good to nobody else.
Facts.
Hmm.
But
Facts.
sometimes we hold on to people that really were not supposed to be there just for a season. We hold on, trying to hold on to them for a lifetime, and then it becomes a vicious cycle.
Hmm.
Hero complex. You
But
want to
hey,
see the
hey,
Stability.
villain.
you remember what old people used to say back in the day, and I really think it's true. They say the evil live forever, but the good die young.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's some old people that's supposed to have been dead when I was a kid that's still alive. And I really think in my mind, them people are evil.
My
Yeah,
grandma used to tell me
son.
the blind lead the blind, and all of them go fall in the ditch. So that,
Mm.
so you,
And
you
I be
can
trying
go on and say,
and I keep on trying to dig the deep closer to their doggone feet, but they stop walking.
man, listen, that's country.
Yo.
Treacherous. Treacherous. Just treacherous.
Hey, but look, all these little things we all seem like we grew up with.
Yeah, that's all.
It's all relative. It's all it's a book, 6 Degrees of Separation, or maybe it's a movie or something like that.
Book and a movie.
It's a book
It's a book
and it
and a
turned
movie.
into a movie. Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
but it just it's all relative. We all connected, and we all put up with the same stuff, and try to navigate the ways to deal with it, and we all eventually got the same emotions, but we have different ways of coping or managing, I guess. And I think that my opinion, my honest opinion, the minute we start to realize who we are first, is the moment in standing on that shit is the moment your life changes forever for the better.
Yeah, for
Hmm.
the better. For the better.
Facts.
I mean,
At first,
realizing
it,
who you
at
are,
first it's a little bit bumpy.
Yeah,
it's
You
bumpy
start
as
cutting
hell.
people off,
Right,
and you're like, damn,
there's nobody
all of y'all
else.
wasn't shit.
That part got
right. Right. You look back and you realize, like,
Fuck.
well, damn, all y'all motherfuckers. But hey, it's everybody get that on their egg on their face every once in a while, man. You just but don't let that stop you from being who you are. And that's
Never that.
you know,
Never that. 10 toes down.
don't change who you are.
That's
I
it.
guess.
My stomach. Jesus. I'm not drunk, I swear. Take
That's the first thing drunk people say.
They always say that too. They always say that too.
I'm not drunk.
I'm not drunk.
I'm just a bit tipsy. I'm just a little tipsy.
might
Bit,
be,
just a
might be
bit.
buzzed a little bit. Might
That's
be
why she named it that, Tipsy.
Right, right, right.
I ain't gonna lie, that sound like that should be the drop for the intro right there. I'm not drunk, just tipsy.
Yeah.
You sound like the little old lady off of Martin show. I'm not
Yeah.
drunk. I'm on medication.
Yeah.
Listen, listen.
Mm.
All right, my lovely panel. I feel like this was a good talk, a good
It was
discussion.
productive. It was real productive.
We about to wrap this up because the way my stomach is set up.
She got the bubble gum.
That damn dairy.
Absolutely awful.
I ran that shit back to back, last night and tonight, and yeah,
You're paying for it.
boy, it's winning. It's taking me down right now. It's taking me down. So with that being said, gang, like you know how these influencers do, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Follow my Facebook page under The Influence, and that is with 2 E's. Until next time, y'all stay sucker free, gang.
All right, y'all. Catch y'all.
Peace and
All right,
fish
y'all.
grease.
Bye. And